In the top stories, Extradition Bill 2025 passed in National Assembly. Jamaica shatters records for Caribbean tourist arrivals, and Harvard University to sue Trump administration. Welcome to the ZIZ Midday newscast. Today is Friday, the 23rd of May, 2025. I am Jasmine Thomas. Nationally, the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis passed the Extradition Bill 2025 on Thursday, 22nd May, which represents a historic reform in the Federation's justice system. The Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, Garth Wilkin, crafted the bill to replace the antiquated 1946 colonial law with a modern legal system that meets current international standards. The bill defines the extradition protocols for serious crime suspects, including murderers and drug traffickers, while protecting due process, rights and human rights. The legislation establishes different efficient systems to process extradition requests from CARICOM member states, Commonwealth countries, and other nations that have agreements with St. Christopher and Nevis. It also protects against extradition in instances of political persecution and discrimination cases and when fair trial standards are not achievable. The legislation permits expedited processes when specific criteria are met to maintain justice alongside procedural efficiency. The Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister of St. Christopher and Nevis, met with Kittitian and Nevisian students currently studying in Cuba, reaffirming his government's unwavering commitment to their academic and personal success. The gathering, held at the St. Kitts and Nevis Embassy in Havana, was marked by open and heartfelt exchanges. Students candidly shared their experiences, highlighting both the opportunities and the challenges of studying far from home. They spoke of the academic rigor, cultural enrichment, and the occasional hardships faced, but above all, they expressed deep gratitude for the Prime Minister's continued advocacy and support. Prime Minister Drew himself, a proud graduate of a Cuban university, took the opportunity to reflect on his own transformative journey as a student in Cuba. I know firsthand the challenges you face, but I also know the immense value of this experience, he shared. He encouraged the students to persevere, reminding them that their achievements will not only shape their own futures, but also contribute to the ongoing development of St. Kitts and Nevis. The Prime Minister assured them that his administration remains steadfast in its support, working to ensure that every student abroad has the resources and encouragement they need to thrive. The Water Services Department on Thursday, May 22, began a semi-air drone survey aimed at identifying new water sources for St. Kitts. The survey uses a state-of-the-art method that combines aerial drone technology with ground-based electrodes to collect geophysical data. The goal is to locate viable aquifers and pinpoint precise sites for future groundwater well development. Dr. Roland Hogue, president of Black Bear Consulting Incorporated, the company overseeing the survey, explained how it works.
Of the drone, and this program is to identify aquifers in specifically to identify drill sites where we can of the drone, and this program is to identify aquifers and specifically to identify drill sites where we can develop additional groundwater for the for St. Kitts. So the process is that the drone lifts off, goes in parallel flight lines about 50 meters apart, about 50 meters above the ground, covering up to 1,500 meters each direction, and turning around, coming back until we get 6 or 8 flight lines. That data will then be downloaded and processed by Dr. Johannes Stoll.
Minister of Energy and Utilities, the Honorable Conwys Maynard, thanked the team for the work they are doing in helping find water sources for St. Kitts. He added, most importantly, the survey will help find new sources of water outside the capital, Basseterre.
We're excited that this is going to lead to the development of wells, especially in the areas outside of Basseterre, because we're doing major development of a desal in Basseterre, 2 million gallons per day. We found the Cayon well that's producing a lot of water for us for that region, but there are other areas that
Minister Maynard is confident the survey, when completed, will lead to new water sources for St. Kitts. On the regional scene, Jamaica has shattered tourism records, posting a remarkable 25.1% year-over-year increase in visitor arrivals from the Caribbean for 2024, according to Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett. The milestone highlights the island's growing appeal within the region, with Caribbean stopover arrivals rising to 88,200 this year, up from 70,488 in 2023 and just 50,154 in 2022. This represents a stunning 75.9% growth over 2 years. The Caribbean now accounts for 3% of Jamaica's total visitor arrivals, up from 2% in 2022. Leading the charge is the Cayman Islands, Jamaica's top Caribbean source market, contributing 31,111 visitors in 2024 at a 27.3% increase over last year. Trinidad and Tobago followed with 14,219 visitors, while the Bahamas saw 8,040 visitors. On the international scene, Harvard University is opening a new front in its legal battle against the Trump administration, filing a suit in federal court Friday in response to the government's move to revoke the school's ability to enroll international students. The complaint, by the nation's oldest and wealthiest institution of higher education, argues a decision Thursday to drop the school from the Department of Homeland Security's Student and Exchange Visitor Program violates the law. It is the latest act by the government in clear retaliation for Harvard exercising its First Amendment rights to reject the government's demands to control Harvard's governance, curriculum, and ideology of its faculty and students. The complaint states Harvard is asking a judge to immediately block the order by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. And now for a look at the weather. The present weather is partly cloudy with slight dust haze. Winds are moderate from the east-northeast to at 13 miles per hour. Seas are 1.2 to 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. The weather forecast for today and tonight predicts partly cloudy skies with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Sunset today will be at approximately 20 minutes before 7. Sunrise tomorrow morning at around 25 minutes before 6. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. Grace, peace, and mercy be multiplied to you.